what you're wearing.
Thank you.
As usual. Standing
No,
out.
I got like 5 different colors made in the same outfit. So I get up in the morning and I see what I feel today. Do I feel green? Do I feel yellow? So
Mazedaar.
yeah.
So, I mean, so you felt green today?
Yeah. I felt orange, but वो भी बन के नहीं आया था. So I think चलो let me compromise and just settle for green.
How's your day going, वैसे?
Good, crazy. I love Mondays.
अच्छा.
So Monday, so I come like a Hitler.
Really?
So yeah. Because if you let go of Monday, you don't get a grip for the whole week. And over the weekends, whatever I have brainstormed, whatever I have made notes of, and or with the design part or the PR or how many departments we have. So I just make sure that Monday I'm on my best game.
Right.
So that puts everyone in the place and gives them the energy and so I just had a town hall meeting. I called everybody in and gave them the energy wearing my green.
Like you give them a schedule or you just set the whole.
No. They have like overall calendar to follow. But within that, this is the idea I'm working on, and this is what we need to achieve this week.
The side notes.
The side notes, and yeah. And generally, we as we are our own boss, but sometimes we need a push too.
Yeah.
Sometimes they bring something to the table, or they have seen something interesting, or they have been working on something exciting. So it's like little update.
Right.
So that's very important and also it should be like a meetup for everyone.
Say.
So that sets the tone for the week.
Right.
That we are in it together.
So ये team building type एक exercise. Nice.
That's very important.
How long have you been doing this? Like since the start?
No.
Or now you?
No. अभी तो I am learning also. ये तो सारी शौकिया मैंने अब सीखी.
और ये आइडिया कहाँ से सीखा क्योंकि अगर पहले नहीं आया था तो कहाँ से आया आइडिया?
I started very organically and I had no idea about the business. I didn't even know how to make clothes. I knew how to create something.
On a paper.
On a paper, also like in 3D and real form. But is that wearable or not? That was a question. And then because I could imagine wearing myself those things, so मुझे लगता था कि हाँ ये तो कोई भी पहन लेगा.
थोड़ा सा अली ज़ीशान crazy होना पड़ेगा लेकिन पहन
लेगा. हाँ थोड़ा rebellious होना पड़ेगा. No, it was all organic. So first I learned how to balance my art and my point of view and make it commercial. Then the biggest challenge was the business side of it. On the face of it, we were doing great as a brand. But then, of course, I had different expectations of my brand. So for that, I had to learn. So it's all self-taught. The business side of it.
Right.
Like I was so bad, if you give me lakh rupees to count, I'll count 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10 dafa. So I was that kind of person. So also I made myself comfortable with the numbers, and then also because I started on my own and I did everything myself. On my orientation day the other day, I called everybody. I was like, none of you can give me excuse because मैंने आप सबका काम किया हुआ है. I have been here. It's so funny, when I started, of course I didn't have that kind of money and I didn't have that kind of backup. So I was my own manager.
Of course.
So I
अपने सेक्रेटरी भी खुद ही है ना. ये मेरी अपॉइंटमेंट आज की.
Yeah. So I also had a name, Sameer Syal Aftab. I was like, hi, this is Sameer here. Let me put Ali on the phone, and then I will change my voice.
Are you? Oh,
so
man.
I was like, oh yeah, so Sir Ali is here. हाँ, what's up?
तो उसका वो करना ज़रूरी था to be in a sort of frame of mind while you're working? Yeah, is that important to show for people?
I couldn't afford a manager. I couldn't afford a manager.
I get
and
that.
also, of course, it's a luxury business. It comes with certain requirement.
Right.
And also, I wanted to know everything. Like I have cleaned my floors. I can say stitch. I can make pattern. I can from the marketing side of it. If nothing else, light टूट जाए तो lamp इस्तेमाल कर लो.
I got you, man. I completely understand it. I mean,
and nothing, nothing is more fulfilling when you know your shit.
Absolutely.
And this only you live and learn.
Yeah.
You live and learn. No book you can read this from. Of course, you can know the terminologies. You can know the formal language. All of that. But the other day, I met this. Seema Aziz Barize.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
Right.
She was the pioneer. She made so many brands.
Right.
And I had never met her. So we were called in by the president. They wanted to promote Pakistan fashion internationally. So it was first I felt really flattered to be there. So all the pioneers, Nilofar Shahid, Seema Aziz, and HSY, all these people were there, and I was invited too. So I saw her and I went up to her like, "Ma'am, I'm a huge fan. So give me like word of wisdom." She said, "Work. Beta, just work." So I was like, how cool is that?
Yep.
There is no other replacement. There's no shortcut. So you do it and do it like hell.
Right. इसमें आपने did you? It's so strange that you and Fahad say the same thing.
Yeah.
Although you both have studied fashion, right? फिर भी खुद से काम करना या एक चीज का पता होना, or in fact you admitting कि you didn't know. So वो इतना gap क्यों है? कि right out of fashion school, how come you guys as students are not ready to run a business?
But fashion school में जहाँ पे एक marketing एक बहुत छोटा subject है, and that is still marketing, that is still not business, that is not infrastructure management,
right?
That is still not how to make hierarchy कैसे बनाते हैं, who will report who, balance sheets and loss profit, all of that.
Right.
So that fashion school generally is more about the technique of it, the creative side of it. This honestly हर market भी फर्क होता है ना. अब पाकिस्तान का जो consumer is very spoiled. यहाँ पे psychographics, demographics फर्क है. So that you only learn when you are in it. But people with a business background has little edge over people who only know fashion. But then you can always learn. Learn. And I literally took like a crash course of 3 days from a friend who was teaching in a Lahore School of Economics.
Okay.
So I मुझे basics तो पता हो रहा है, even if I hire somebody, if I hire like a CA, what do I need from him? I need to know that too.
Exactly.
So yeah.
When did you do that?
It was a few years ago, 2018, 19.
Oh wow. Abhi recent ही बात है.
Yeah.
Like abhi tak you were just working with
we were on the face of it we were doing great.
Yeah.
But होता ये ना कि आप एक growth करते हैं, उसी में रहते हुए आप growth करते रहते हैं. But if you want to shift to the next level, if you want to make it more institutionalized or channelized,
right.
So for that you need to have more access to the technical side of it, and also I had to learn how to detach myself and dedicate and let other people do their job,
right?
Because I can be very nosy, right. I decide something and then I come back, other could just me change kar de, sir आधा तो बन गया, and I'm not happy. So I had to learn that too. How let other people do their job.
Oh, wow.
And how only do my job.
How not to micromanage.
Yeah, not to micromanage. But I still kind of do that.
मैं ये कहने लगी थी, how's that going for you?
No.
Not too well.
Yeah, not too well.
Not too well for your staff. Huh?
Yeah.
So
but honestly, they also enjoy and they keep that room. They do everything and they keep that room for the change, last minute changes here and there. But I'm lucky to have developed that kind of team People, my team, people who are with me from the first day, they are still with me.
Amazing.
So it is literally like extended family. So we spend so much time together. I genuinely like, they're my family, and I take care of them psychologically, emotionally, because it's very important. You also upgrade their game.
Right.
You can't be selfish about, oh, मुझे पता है मैं नहीं बताऊंगा. एक तो nobody is gonna take your wisdom anywhere. If you have it, you have it.
Right.
So that's very important, that you lift up and lift everybody around you.
And then that's the way your whole team kind of scales.
They also feel skills, and they also feel involved. They also feel responsible. So you know, many kids in my firm, they came very raw. They even didn't know their own potential.
Right.
I had an idea. I know how far they could go,
right,
with a little bit of tweaks here and there. And now they are taking very decent amount home. So जैसे हम grow कर रहे हैं, वो भी grow कर रहे हैं. We'll grow further. They'll grow with us. So yeah, and also when you want to be like a leading brand and not do what everybody else is doing, and we are known for that, for breaking the boundary, for pushing it a little more. For that you have to take risks. You have to have your own game plan. It's not written in any book कि आप ये कर लें.
Right. ये बात मैंने काफ़ी बाद में जाके पूछनी थी, लेकिन अभी ही बात कर लेते हैं कि ये pressure of being a leading brand, does it leave you sleepless? Are you always constantly thinking what to do next, or new designs?
It comes to me naturally. It comes to me naturally, and also my I have a very artistic approach towards it. So whatever I want to express, I just express it through my campaigns. Like an artist would use a paint to tell a story, a singer would use an instrument. So this is my medium. So that is how I express myself.
Right.
God has blessed me with the power of imagination, and also observation. So all of that I soak in, there has to be a way to let that come out.
Right.
So that is usually my medium. My campaigns or statements we make as a brand. But pressure of being a leading brand is, utna pressure to jitna aap lete hain. The day I will take a pressure, then I will make my decisions out of anxiety. Right. So they're not gonna be that amazing for sure. So there are days when you get little insecure or little uncomfortable or thoda sa anxiety hota hai. But then you just look within and find for more answers, find more inspiration, and that always comes from within. So what I do is I just detach myself from everything. What everybody else is doing. Of course, you know what is happening internationally. You know कि किसी brand की क्या philosophy है. That much you know. But then I just go totally within and in my little shell, and see what inspired me last. What color was talking to me. What silhouette I feel is in fashion. So that's very important, to know yourself completely. Because there's nobody, because we weren't made in pairs, so there's nobody else like me. So that is very important to know, and then stick to it and have a courage to do it.
ये self awareness कब से है? Because मुझे ये काफ़ी देर में समझ आई थी बात. Because अपने अंदर देखने का या ये अपने आप को समझने का, we're not taught to calm down and look within. We're always taught that that's your goals. किसी ने हमें बताया होता है, and we follow that.
Okay, so मुझे जहाँ तक, if I have to put my finger on, it is because of my mother. Because while growing up, we weren't enjoying the best financial structure. And I come from a huge, big family. Like 6 chachas and उनके 4 बच्चे, खालाएं, उनके बच्चे, मामू. So, and I also grew up in a joint family. So I remember, if एक सनती नुमाइश लगती थी ना फोर्ट्रेस में. So अब हम जब सब जाते थे वहाँ पे, so other kids would be buying whatever they wanted to buy, but we had some budget. So my mom would tell us, "Ke don't be mad if somebody else is buying something, or तुम्हारे पास क्या है वो देखो."
Right.
And we were taught that way. I am personally, because I'm very close to my mom, so I am conditioned that way. That किसी का मुंह लाल देख के अपने आप को चपेड़े नहीं मारनी है आपने. So because then you know फिर आप भी नहीं रहेंगे और आप किसी और का खराब वर्जन बन जाएंगे. So probably it comes from her.
Right. That's an important lesson.
Yeah, that's very important.
Like,
you know,
as a child to.
And when I started my career, I read somewhere, if you want to be successful, never compare and never expect.
Yeah.
Because these are the two things that will really overshadow your creativity. You will never become a best version of yourself. You will become a bad version of somebody else.
Right.
So yeah, these two things are very clear. Of course, kabhi you get fascinated, you get little insecure, and in a very healthy way.
Yeah.
But you just need to, and also, education does not stop with the college or the degree.
Yeah.
You learn every day, and especially, like I am very bad with technology. I was very bad with technology. So now I'm taking classes for Photoshop.
अच्छा.
And also I'm learning Excel.
जबरदस्त.
So
बहुत ज़रूरी है. I love playing Office.
Yeah.
हाँ, मैं पूरी Excel शीटें बनाई हुई. Like I have organized stuff. मेरे guests कौन हैं?
I'm a very paper pencil person. So I don't know. मुझे मजा ही नहीं आता है कि ऐसे किया हो गया. But of course I'm like
learning curve है.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. You just never give up. You are more excited about yourself every day. That's very important.
Yeah. So there's so much. पहले तो in fact there's something that needs to be addressed.
Which elephant?
This elephant is there. हम लोग इतना मिलते क्यों नहीं है? क्या हुआ है? क्या मसला है? मसला क्या है?
अच्छा.
और इतनी क्या मतलब ये नहीं क्या है? This is not. I'll edit this out. मुझे कोई I'm not.
No.
I actually want to know क्या हो गया?
Nothing.
बड़ा अरसे बाद मिल रहे हैं और हम मिलते ही एक सीरियस कॉन्वर्सेशन में घुस गए. मुझे ज्यादा मजा नहीं आ रहा. यानी क्या मतलब क्या ये मैं I'm not here to do a job. ठीक है ना? We're chilling, relaxing. And this is new to me and I'm telling you genuinely मैं और आप कभी नहीं बैठे. और hearing this about you, just knowing who you are, where you come from.
The other day I was just telling Myra, I think, I did my first shoot with Aabroo with Rabia Bhatt, because I was just putting all my archives together. So I saw that shoot, I was telling her that. But I think that is also fine to do your job, and when you meet, with the same passion, with the same energy, and you start where you left.
Yeah.
But on my side, honestly, it's too much to handle. Your personal life, yourself. I'm a father now, and then we just adopted 2 cats yesterday.
Oh, sweet.
So me, my wife, my son, my family, my mother, we just shifted to a new house. We were very busy building it.
Abhi this
also,
one?
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll have a little tour.
Mashallah.
So.
You named your house?
Yeah, it's this tour. It's called this tour.
That's a lovely. क्या ये इसके पीछे क्या सोच थी?
I love the name. I love the name. I wanted to name a collection this tour, but I was like, no, I'll name my house this tour.
Oh, what an idea!
So there is there's so much going on.
Your life has been completely like बहुत eventful, है ना?
Yeah.
For the past few years.
Yeah.
Especially because you're dynamics have changed now that you're married and a daddy.
Yeah.
And I see you replying to messages at 5 a.m. to me. और मुझे इतनी मैं भी कुछ like कब अभी कुछ महीने पहले I was like मेरा तो बनता है मैं लैला को स्कूल छोड़ने में जागी हुई हूँ. What अली सी शान की जागा मैं.
I love early mornings. And I used to be a night person. very famously. But I love the early morning, and I'm really trying hard to join the 5 a.m. club.
अच्छा.
And also recently I opened myself to yoga and meditation, and breathing exercises.
इसका मतलब है you needed, there was some stuff that needed to calm down this energy.
Yeah, a lot. and it's not a one-time job.
It's not.
It's like brushing your teeth.
Yeah, it's a lifetime's work.
Yeah, it's lifetime work in progress.
Yeah.
So I took a art of living course. And that was a game changer. This Shinaz, she's from Islamabad.
I think I've seen her
must
ads.
have heard. Yeah. Oh, she's amazing. All my friends, I'm like, no, you have to go. And they were like, what do you get? I was like,
you
I don't
calm
know.
down.
Yeah. So, because happiness is not like, it's not in a box. It's not an occasion.
Right.
It's not something tangible. So, you can't really explain what you get after you work on yourself.
Right.
But so for that, early morning is the best time. And even scientifically, spiritually. So I wake up early.
You wake up early. That's so amazing. Ali, tell me something. You just mentioned Abhi to be unique, to you have to do that kind of work on your brand. So especially in your case, because your brand makes bridal wear. तो कलरफुल कपड़े ये तो हमारी एक तरह से हेरिटेज है. So in all of the, I would say, noise of so many brands, how do you manage to have that uniqueness? Like, what do you, because mostly, and I'm asking this in fact in any, अगर कोई भी बात हमारी सुन रहा हो चाहे वो किसी भी फील्ड के हैं, when you enter the market and real world में, तो फिर आपको लगता है कि oh my god, मेरे जैसे तो बहुत सारे लोग हैं, मेरे जैसे तो बहुत सारे लोग सेम चीज़ बेच रहे हैं. So how does one find that voice?
So fashion is a right blend. It's a marriage between art and commerce. ठीक है? So I will start with the art side of it. That is where your personality comes in. That is where your research comes in. That is where your mood reflects. आपको ऑरेंज का कौन सा शेड पसंद है? ऑरेंज तो बहुत से होते हैं ना, आपका शेड कौन सा है? आइडेंटिफाई दैट. ठीक है. गुलाब का फूल हर कोई इस्तेमाल करता है, बट आपका गुलाब का फूल कौन सा है? और उस गुलाब का पत्ता आप कैसा पत्ता बनाते हैं? या पेजली तो पेजली होती है ना, बट आप किस पेजली के साथ आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं? सो दैट इज हाउ योर ब्रांड लैंग्वेज develops. You make your own vocabulary with color palettes, with silhouettes. Like, जैसे there are few things we have do's and don'ts. More don'ts and less do's. So like I will never make a diagonal hemline. Okay. That is like my pet peeve. Okay. Then like I don't like balloon shaped lowers, so like harem pants or tulip shalwar, that is something we stay away from. So automatically when you know what you like and what you don't like, and when you aware of all of that, that automatically develop your personality, your silhouettes, your cut lines, आप किस length में ज़्यादा play करते हैं. So that is very important to identify that. Automatically आपकी language एक बन जाती है.
यानी आपका एक signature
develop होने लग जाता है. But उसके लिए सिर्फ ये होता है कि you should know what you like. Like इतना तो aware बंदा हो कि आपको पता होगा आपको क्या पसंद हो क्या नहीं पसंद है. और वो किसी bias से नहीं हो, वो सिर्फ direct heart से हो कि आपको क्या समझ आई, आपको क्या अच्छा लगा. This is the art side of it. The commercial side of it is that if you want to stand out, and especially today in the world where e-commerce is like a big giant now, it should be customer oriented. What services do you give? What your packaging is? how much punctual your brand is with the
Wow.
deliveries, what your client felt when they came to you, what is the recall value of your brand, how are you going to bring them back, what kind of social media exposure do they get through your brand. So all of this together
Wow.
makes a good experience commerce wise.
Right.
So these two things, if you know this, you're a good brand. So yeah, you should know where you want your brand to be. And also there are so many case studies. Just educate yourself a little.
Right.
It comes to you naturally, it comes
Right.
to you easily.
Right.
So yeah.
So when especially the new kids, when they enter the market and they're up against giants like you, and it's easy to get disheartened. So for a new brand,
Or vice versa. We also get uncomfortable.
Right.
There is always a fear. Fear is not the best word, but there's always some pressure
Right.
of being relevant.
Right.
तो वो भी बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि एक familiarity हो जाती है, लोगों ने आपको देख लिया है, there is not much left to explore. Sometimes you feel stagnant, sometimes you feel repetitive. So it's the both side. जब नए बच्चे आते हैं तो of course उनको लिए pressure होता है कि how to make it big. But again if you have a voice, if it's original, if it's genuine, and you are promising, you go a long way, and there's room for everyone. अगर वहाँ से नए designers आ रहे हैं तो नए consumers भी तो आ रहे हैं ना.
Right.
अभी millennials जो हैं, they have turned 25 or plus, so they are now in a spending category. ठीक है. So वहाँ से वो भी तो add हुए हैं ना. और हर साल, हर minute इस दुनिया में 1,50,000 लोग की डेथ होती है और 2,500 पैदा होते हैं.
Right.
ठीक है, सॉरी 2.5 लाख पैदा
2.5
होते हैं. So उस तरह से भी अगर देखा जाए तो there's always room for everyone.
Right.
It is how you value yourself or your brand. That's very important. आपका विजन क्या है?
Right.
आपने क्या 400 लोगों को केटर करना है, या 4 लाख लोगों को केटर करना है, या आपने 40 लाख लोगों को केटर करना है? और that's very important to know what do you really want out of the brand, how big
Right.
you want to make it.
Right. And also, what about the speed of success? उसके बारे में कुछ बात करेंगे, यानी
Speed of success.
कि जल्दबाजी में अगर
अच्छा, मैं
नए
आपको एक
बच्चे
बात
ना
बताता
हो.
हूँ. मैं आपको बताता हूँ.
Yeah.
एक तो जो स्पीड ऑफ सक्सेस है ना, वो एक तो सक्सेस इज वेरी सब्जेक्टिव. ठीक है, कि आप कितने सक्सेसफुल हैं. सम पीपल ऑफ कोर्स लाइक द फर्स्ट हैंड अप्रोच इज टू मेजर विद द मनी यू हैव. ठीक है, व्हाट योर बैंक बैलेंस इज. ठीक है, और मेरे हिसाब से तो हाउ कंटेंट एंड हैप्पी यू आर, दैट इज सक्सेस. ठीक है. उसके अलावा एक बात, ये जो स्पीड ऑफ सक्सेस है ना, I will give you a very funny story. In if I'm not wrong, in China, there is this bamboo.
Okay.
They put a seed,
Yeah.
they water it for 5 years,
Yeah.
and they don't see anything.
Yeah.
ठीक है. After 5 years, one night that bamboo shoots, and it is as tall as 100 plus feet overnight. So now my question is, did that bamboo grow overnight or in 5 years?
Yeah.
So speed of success is very subjective, and also success is very subjective.
Yeah.
So speed is, I think it is person to person for sure. ठीक है. How much you can chew,
Yeah.
and how well you can chew.
Well,
So it is brand to brand होता है,
Yeah.
और person to person होता है.
Yeah.
Again, if you rush it, that means you are leaving few loopholes behind. I know many people when we started. So it comes to me naturally. I am workaholic, and I know, like, this cousin of mine joined me and left after 2 days. He said, Sean Mia, aap kaise karte hain yaar? Aap, you know, I'm doing this interview. I had back-to-back meetings today.
Right.
I have another meeting, and then I have to give few designs tomorrow for a line. I have to take Jansher for the play date. So all of this in one day, I kind of manage. It comes to me naturally.
Right.
I am a multitasker.
Right.
So of course it reflects in the progress. But if you can't do it, if it's not your forte, just stick to what you're good at.
Right.
So
and enjoy the
process also.
yeah.
And also, honestly, कभी-कभी मुझे ऐसे भी लगता है, I still prefer my struggling days more than now.
Right.
There was curiosity.
Right.
There was some sense of achievement.
Yep.
Like, I started literally from one room, and now we, mashallah, have a studio in Lahore and Karachi. We have very significant online presence.
Right.
We have clients all over the globe, and upper tier, the elite we are entertaining. All of that I enjoy. God has been super kind. We are enjoying a very healthy success. But when I was struggling, like, even if I buy another AC, I'll be happy.
है ना?
You know?
एक charm होता था ना?
हाँ, yeah, like, you know, अगर मैंने अपने स्टूडियो के लिए एक सोफा भी खरीदे ना, I will look at it and think, oh, I made it on my own. ये 20,000 रुपए का सोफा लिया है मैंने. So of course, that also has its own charm.
Yeah.
It's just that wherever, whatever curve you are in the race, wherever you are, just enjoy that time and that moment, and nothing is more fulfilling than enjoying what you have today. ठीक है?
Being present
and enjoying it fully and giving your 100%. You know, I always say, if I was a sweeper, I would clean your flush so well that you will
enjoy it.
No, you will enjoy it, and
you'll enjoy it.
Call me again. You call me again, and nobody else will be better sweeper than I would be. So that's very important. To just give your 100% and enjoy it fully, and bring your A game, and don't be shy about. And nothing is more sexier than hard work.
Yeah.
Nothing is more sexier.
Absolutely. Tell me, how does one react to, as a newcomer? Obviously, because everybody who's watching this are people who aspire to be like you or to have a brand like yours. That's what I think is going to be the audience mostly. तो जब आप इंडस्ट्री एंटर करते हैं तो काफ़ी एक स्नूटी सा एटीट्यूड होता है.
Oh yes.
तो उसके साथ like what was your experience when you entered, and how do you suggest कि नए बच्चे क्या करें?
Okay, so yes,
what did you face?
I faced a lot. I faced a lot of eyebrow raise. I faced a lot of. तुम्हें पता है?
लेकिन वो क्या कर रहे थे? क्या किस बारे में कर रहे थे?
Because honestly, I was obnoxious. I was obnoxiously loud, and I was shameless. I was I had like misplaced confidence. So, and also I wasn't subtle. I wasn't subtle about it. I wanted it. I wanted it all. I wanted it the way I wanted it.
You made यानी हर वक्त announcement होती थी. मैं हूँ, मैं मौजूद हूँ.
So yeah.
Look at me.
I was very pushy. So, and also fashion. A lot of people thought that if you have like a fancy second family name, so it is your domain,
right?
And
then you can be
part of the league. And so much so that some journalists would use word pedigree, which is used for you know who. So they thought if you were born with a silver spoon and you were born like you know in like fancy lifestyle, only then you wear off shoulder and then you go abroad every third day and big diamonds. Only then you are part of the fashion industry. So it was the establishment around us and me, especially when I came to the industry. But then here I was. I was like, I know my job better than everybody else. Not like everybody else, but everybody else. Like I knew what I wanted.
Right.
I was good at my job. And it's just that कि देखें, अगर आपने कोई एक, if you haven't heard a song before, that does not mean कि वो song गलत है या वो गाना ही सही नहीं है.
Yeah.
वो इसका मतलब ये है कि आपको अपनी गेम अप करने की जरूरत है.
Yeah.
So that was my attitude.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because I was laughed at, I was made fun of, I was bullied to my face.
Wow.
To my face, standing in front of me and laughing at me. And then some of them were doing the same thing after some time. And when they realized that I am not going anywhere, they made peace with it.
Right. Wait, what do you mean they were doing the same thing? Like then they started taking
inspiration. Because I was very high on styling.
Right.
I was very high on drama. I was I always say that I actually am a storyteller and I sell clothes in between. Okay? So then everybody wanted to come up with a narration and everybody wanted to OTT and styling, and then stylists came after like 5 years. I did my debut in 2010. Stylists are very recent, okay?
Yeah.
And they're doing amazing job.
Right.
But usse pehle I would और few other brands, Fahad tha, और से बहुत से लोग थे जो they were high on styling.
Yeah.
But then some commercial brands, they got into this and now they want a story. They want all the tamasha. And also when people initially go, oh hi to drama करता है, drama, ठीक है. But then, bro, you like the drama. Drama is fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, life is boring.
Right.
So, yeah. I faced all of this, but again, I kept doing what I wanted to do. Had I stopped, और अगर मैं वहाँ पे खड़ा होके जवाब देने के चक्कर में पड़ जाता ना, you must have never heard me confronting or bitching or putting status out there, because that takes away from your energy.
Right.
और वो आप फिर डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाते हैं, फिर आप वहीं पे रह जाते हैं और आप वहाँ पे खड़े होकर लड़ रहे हैं. And honestly, Aabroo, there is no better answer than a massive success.
Ouch.
Yeah, nobody pays my pizza bills and
सही बात है. I mean,
So-
I know where you're coming from, and I that's what I want other people
honestly,
to also
resilience is very
Yeah.
important, and perseverance is very important.
know. Yeah.
Confidence is required. So all of this together, as far as you know where you're going, as far as you are not stepping on anybody's toes, great. Do whatever it takes. Bend backwards.
Yeah.
Do anything and everything under the sun to get what you want. Because if you are expecting people will come and give you in a platter, no, that's not happening. And also, you think if you are expecting people will give you shabashi, nobody's giving you shabashi. So you just give yourself shabashi.
अपनी भी तालियां बजाएं.
अपनी भी तालियां बजाएं, अपना cheerleader बन जाएं. ये डिलूजनल ना रहे प्लीज, और प्लीज हर्ट ना हो. अगर आपको कोई गंदा के तो आप हर्ट मत हो.
ये मैं पूछना था कि आप did that make you nervous or hurt you, and how did you deal with it?
No.
So you would shut them out, shut the noise out?
Because if it honestly, if it's healthy criticism, like I remember when I started my journey, Andaleeb Rana, she's from Karachi, and she was running a magazine called Expose.
Yes.
She came up and she said, "Idhar aao, pagal ladke," and she was like, "I love your madness. I love the," and also Tariq Amin around the same time. They said, "Bring the madness. Be mad, but bring that into your clothes." So that was one piece of criticism I loved. And I started doing that. So I started playing more with my motifs and color placement and silhouette. So I was like, अच्छा जो मैं सारा एक world create करना चाहता हूँ, the story I want to tell, it shouldn't be all over the place. It can be in just one dot, but the dot has to be the right size, shape, and the placement. So that was like, there are few criticism. They were very productive, and I took them without thinking, oh, I know it all. No, I don't know it all. But if you are just trying to put me down, and if you are just there to bully me,
right,
I am not taking it. Here I am. You make peace with me. I am not going to change my algorithms because because you don't get it.
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna dumb myself down, or I'm not gonna. If I sound so pompous, मुझे नहीं आना चाहिए था slide.
No, you don't sound pompous. It is true.
For everybody. Yeah. And you guys are, where's the camera? Here it is. You guys are very special. Do not let anybody tell you what to eat, what to wear, how to be, how to conduct yourself. Do whatever you feel like. Do whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
And do it like nobody's business.
Yeah. Do it like nobody's watching.
Yeah.
कई दफा ना मुझे टेक्नोलॉजी को गालियां देने पड़े इन्हों गालां कर दो यार ये नहीं
कल I wanted a projector for a house, तो वो प्रोजेक्टर आया, वो एक कहानी जैसे मैंने कैसे बेहतर मैं CSS के एग्जाम्स दे दूं, ये प्रोजेक्टर ऑन करने से तो बेहतर है.
सही है. हाँ तो हमने ये अच्छा एक वो हो गया था अच्छा.
So trolling, like, enjoy it, and that means you are making some difference somewhere, and you are, and honestly, they like you or hate you, they just should not be able to ignore you. ये sentence सही था, should be able to. I don't know.
दोबारा करें.
So they like you or they hate you, but you should not be ignorable, for sure. For sure. If you live, if you exist, make your presence felt. It's okay.
Yeah. And that is वही बात है कि इतने saturation में अगर आप नहीं stand out करेंगे तो फिर there is no way to.
But Aabroo, honestly, the other day, I asked a friend who is a mother of two, and I was like, give me like a parental advice. So you know what she said? She said, don't expect your kid to be really special. If they want to be not too special, that's sorry.
It's okay.
Acha, if they want to be not too special, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Like she said, my daughter wants to be a sales girl.
Yeah.
And why not?
ठीक है.
So ठीक है. So I'm just saying that this is like one way this worked for me. Being loud, being over the top, being myself worked for me, and I wanted it that way, and because I enjoyed that. That was me, and that came to me naturally. But if you want to be safe and you just be sure of what you want to be, you look confused when you don't know, and that reflects everywhere,
right,
in your marketing, in your font size, in your choice of, I don't know, patterns or everything. So just be sure of what you want to be. Do you want to be one of those? Great, be my guest, be one of those. But then do that really well.
Exactly. How do you? अच्छा अब आते हैं आपकी market की तरफ. And what was the year you started working? Like started actually selling?
It's been 2010-11 we started.
Acha, amazing. So उस वक्त से अब तक, how has the buyers' sense of style?
They have become more aware, for sure. They have become more smarter. Because back then it used to be a drawing room conversation. They would come to your studio, they will have chai, then you show them one piece and the other piece, and the cupboard will open and somebody will bring it. But now it's a click away. They know this is your collection, this is your last collection, this was your last to last collection, this is your recent bridal, this is this bridal flana wore, this bridal flana wore. So all of this is out there, you can't cheat them for sure. Then ये दोनों तरफ से है कि designers used to and clients used to be more like they could get away with the mistakes, they could get away with miscommitment from both the sides, designers भी और clients भी. Miscommitment तब छुप जाता था, अभी तो it's out there. So that, you know, a lot of brands, they are trying to up their game. Customer behave differently now. They know they can't take you for granted. They can't yell at your help at the studio, or they can't misbehave. There is always a recording or something on paper, or there is some kind of record for everything. So that is that, and everything is out there in the open, in the bright light.
Right.
So
transparency
हो गई है. एक ये चीज हुई है, and also customer has become really aware, which is a great thing, and also now they know what they want.
लेकिन अभी भी फिर वो उसी में नहीं होंगे कि अब जो आलिया भट्ट ने पहना था ना, मुझे वो जोड़ा चाहिए, और जो अब वो यानी वो सेंटिमेंट
और मुझे वो नहीं चाहिए, और मुझे वो नहीं चाहिए. So either or the other, कि या उनको ये पता चल जाए कि उनको क्या चाहिए, या उनको ये पता चल जाए कि उनको नहीं चाहिए. Even that makes a difference. The problem is when they don't know. Problem is when they want to have everything, and then they want to have bit of this and bit of that, and इसका गला ले ले, इसका घेरा ले ले. That is where the real problem is. Then they are confused till the last day. They are confused even when they are married. They are confused even when they have children. They are not sure if they had to marry at the first place. So they keep.
यानी that confusion is not just
in
their buying power.
And generally, as new generation and these kids and, you know, millennials and Gen Zs, and the world has become more aware. Overall, the consumer is very well aware. If they want it and what they want, that's very important, and that's a great thing to have. That's a great clarity to have.
And how do you, as a creative person, जब आपके पास एक client आता है और कहते हैं कि मुझे मेरे दिमाग में ये है, तो how do you deal with them? How do you bring your own style?
I take care of them, and I help them navigate through it.
ठीक है.
क्योंकि कभी ये होता है ना, आपके पास words नहीं होते हैं और आपको पता नहीं होता where to start from. तो then I have a great team helping me with this. So first we'll like, अच्छा आपको let's start with the silhouette. क्या do you want to go for longer length or shorter length? Do you want a lower to be two-legged? आपको गरारा चाहिए कि शरारा चाहिए? आपको फ्लेयर क्या चाहिए? वो सिलवेट हमने कर लिया. आपको नेट का दुपट्टा चाहिए और गेंजा का दुपट्टा चाहिए? लंबा चाहिए, छोटा चाहिए, वेल चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? This is, I'm talking about the bridal, because that's where the most entertainment is. That's where we entertain client to that length, because they are paying for that. But with Pret, to, you know, small, medium, large. So if you are here for a bridal and it's a customized order, we go to every length. आपको कलर, आपके ज़हन में कोई कलर है, then आपको पीच चाहिए, अब मैं आपको पीच के 18 शेड्स दिखाऊंगा, एंड अगर वो उनमें नहीं है तो then I'll dye it for you and I'll show it to you. आपको पीच का शेड आपने मार्क किया, टिक हो गया, नोट्स बन गए, अब मोटिव, बॉर्डर, गला, घेरा, बाजू, जो भी चाहिए आपको, so we navigate them through, and it's more like you just answer us, ये चाहिए, and then we make like a customized package for you, and it is an outfit that nobody has worn before. It is personalized, it's for you, it is for a special day. So I like to do all of that, and in between all of this, the funny thing is, and that's where I'm little greedy, that, you know, in all of this we create something exciting, we create something new. Like if it was for me, I would not have thought of that shade of blue, or I would not have thought of that motif there. So when we kind of create something new and exciting, that excites me too. So I like the process. I like the process.
That's a different perspective.
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily कि भाई नहीं मेरा तो ये style है और आप ये you kind of work together.
You're paying for it. It's your day. You should be happy. I'm here to. My team is here to assist you. We are here to help you go through the process. And you are allowed to make a wish.
Right. And were you always this open to the client's opinion?
Yeah.
Achha, so you've
like
been
so
like
much
this.
so so much so like you know like I'll like कि अच्छा जब झूलर पे जाओ तो मुझे प्लीज पिक्चर भेजना कि कौन सा सेट अच्छा लग रहा है and I feel so emotionally connected to my clients.
Right.
You know एक तो ये भी है ना कि these girls are trusting you, or men, they're trusting you with their big day. You don't want to disappoint them.
Right.
You want to make them happy. They are allowed. They are, and also जरा थोड़ा सा pressure होता है तो they are not in their best behavior. That's fine too.
Of bridezillas.
Yeah, bridezillas. But that's fine too. We I wouldn't take it from anybody else.
मैंने कोई बताया कोई interesting bridezilla moment. Yeah, how many have you experienced? Not all of them, right? Not all people, not all brides.
Honestly, end of the day, I get chocolates. By the end, they send me chocolates. So in between, whatever happened.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah. So whatever happens on the order table is different. But I go extra miles to take care of them. It's their big day. It's allowed. Yeah. That's very important.
Yeah.
And they are also emotional. And sometimes they are not sure because you only have one day and you want to do 1,000 things. How to bring all together, or you suggest them to leave few and stick to only few. So yeah, that's where my experience comes in. That's where our expertise comes in.
Right.
That's where sometimes we know better, sometimes they know better. So as far as you don't have an ego, as a brand, if you don't have an ego, as a brand, as a person, you are not too stuck up कि मैंने कह दिया और मैंने सोचा, and ये होता है, ठीक है, ये practice होती है. And trust me, it used to be cool. ठीक है?
To have that kind of attitude.
That snooty attitude and to be like, oh, I am demigod and I have little small sultanat मैंने बनाई हुई है. Trust me, it's not working anymore. And we know when I came to the industry, there were many designers. They were like that. They were so much like that, and I chose not to be that. And they fizzle out. They had a very small bubble. वो 4 लोग शाम को कॉफी में बैठ के वाह 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 करते थे और 2 जर्नलिस्ट आ गए, एक डिजाइनर आ गया, एक ये आ गया, वो आ गया, और बैठ के और बैठ के वाह 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 करते रहे. And they are, by the way, having coffee somewhere right now in the same bubble, while we are achieving new heights, while we are expanding, while we are taking our brands ourselves to the next level. So that's very important to not be a part of that circle, or where you are delusional, where you have only yes people around you. Take some criticism, reflect on yourself, and be flexible. Be like water. अब पत्थर ना बने ना कि मैंने कह दिया तो पत्थर पे लकीर है. Be very flexible. Be accommodating. Be accommodating.
Who were your heroes in the design world that you looked up to when you wanted to start your brand, or when you were studying, actually, maybe?
I remember I was and still am John Galliano internationally. I loved Karma. I love Kamya Rokni. I'm a huge fan. Like I remember he was when I went to fashion school, Kami was in the jury.
Wow. In
the selection committee. And then he came back for my final thesis.
Amazing.
I also did my internship with Karma. So yeah, Karma locally and John Galliano internationally. Manish Arora from India. So all these people who were breaking the boundaries and who were exciting and who weren't conventional.
Right.
But throughout these years, many other international brands. I loved how Gucci picked up their game, and Gucci started looking like a boring, elite, snooty, shallow brand, but then they just spin it around and changed it completely. I am a huge HSY fan. That man really taught us how to celebrate fashion, how to look good, how to do all of that. So
how to become a
brand, how to become a brand. So HSY, big inspiration. Sana Safinaz from Karachi, Elan, all these brands who are doing good. I am here for them. Anybody who does well, I am the first one to clap. I am that secure about myself.
फहद का नाम नहीं लिया, नाराज हो जाएगा.
ओए फहद. घर की मूली दाल बराबर होती है, घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर होती है, घर की मूली नहीं होती. Oh, of course, Fahad. मैं तो I think Fahad, I just can't do what all he does. He is, वो जो इसके एक फहद के एक फूल में 18 रंग है ना, वो I don't know how he does it. So I am a huge fan of his craft. Yeah.
कितनी वो मजेदार बात है ना कि जितने आपने नाम लिए हैं, बेसिकली सब लोगों की एक आइडेंटिटी उन्होंने खुद होता है ना, they have formed it, developed it.
Yeah. This really cool brand Rasta, they are so cool.
Very cool.
Then in the masses, like Generation, of course, Khadi, Pioneers. So yeah, I am there to appreciate. I'm up for collaborations. I am not full of myself. So I am pretty secure that way.
Pretty cool, man. इतने सारे नाम गिनवा दिए, किसी से और से पूछे तो let's not talk about it.
मैं किसी का नाम लूँगा तो मेरा नाम लेगा ना.
How do you feel about, or when did you get into Pret?
Okay. So Myra, my wife, she joined us in the business. She's the COO. She looks into the operations. And when COVID started, I was like, chalo, let's try our hands on Pret. Then there was a lot of demand. Not everybody is getting married every third day. Not everybody is going to a wedding every third day. So they wanted a piece of Xeeshan brand. They wanted something which was lighter. They could wear to dinners or to lunches.
Or smaller events.
Smaller shadis. Intimate हो गया था, सब कुछ छोटा हो गया था. So I did my line called Gul Bibi. Myra calls her mother Gul Bibi.
Acha.
So I loved the name. I made the small collection.
Another lesson. Take pieces from your life, from your personal life, and kind of integrate it into your brand.
Yeah, totally.
उसके लिए, उस वजह से आपके लिए चाहे कोई और business के ऊपर जो भी effect आए, but just naming it something that means. Yeah,
that's also attached emotionally to your product.
तो आपको खुद ही you just keep stay in love with your own work.
So we did our line called Gul Bibi.
Amazing.
And to my surprise, in a very good way, in the best way possible, it blew.
Wow.
It just did so well. We weren't really ready for it, but
suddenly you became accessible.
And suddenly a girl in Vancouver, a girl in Toronto, London, Dubai. So all these people who always thought that we were not accessible, we were, and our e-com team is immaculate. So collectively the e-com, my creative instinct, and then my production, and
And Myra's idea.
with Myra's idea and Myra's persistence,
Yeah.
and so we that's how we got into this.
Oh, okay.
Pret, it is primarily her brainchild, and her pushy nature. Her, like when she wants to do something, she wants to do it, and she will do it.
Right. But her idea was perfectly aligned with.
And also the timing was such. People were home. Globally, e-com really took off. So that all of this together, now we are enjoying 2-3 good Pret collections a year. Our delivery time has improved. Our quality is different. It's like definitely better. Our customer service is much better. Because when you get into that kind of game, you need to have very good customer service.
Right.
Because if it's one day late, they will get angry.
Yeah.
They will
because
try
आपने
to reach out to you, promise किया है.
Yeah.
Or people spending less have more tantrums. So
बस ये गुर्बत के मसाइल होते हैं.
नहीं I just said.
कोई बात नहीं, हम घर जाके स्लीप ऑन है. अगर आपको लगा तो काट देंगे, वरना जाने देंगे.
हाँ, ये बात तो सही है.
नहीं, ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग जो करते हैं ना लोग, खास तौर
नहीं पता. अच्छा, मैं आपको
वो भी
बताता
एक है ऐसी.
You know what? Then when we got into online full time, and पहले तो मेरा वो होता था कि I am not gonna, मैं सोच भी नहीं पा रहा था. Because with bridal and you can do so much, but when you have to control your vision or hand, and you need to bring it down to only few frills and feathers.
Yeah.
So I had to also learn the art of making Pret, which is economical, which is sellable, which is wearable,
and
which
creative.
is durable, which is also creative. So it took me some time to hit the mark and to find that sweet spot. So when we got into e-com full time, then I started thinking from a consumer point of view.
Right.
So मैंने अगर मैसेज किया है तो मैं चाहूँगा कि मुझे फौरन से मुझे रिप्लाई मिल जाए. और also or for the communication. And then you want instant gratification, you want instant reply, you want everything instant. So of course it's a different kind of mindset. And
which is something you needed to get used to.
And I had to. Then I started ordering online.
Right.
I ordered when we were making our house. I ordered few things online.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was the same
है
person.
ना? Your buyer behavior was the same.
Yeah. So I was like calling them. अभी तक आया नहीं है. कितने बजे? 3 बजे पहुंचेगा. 3 बजे एग्जैक्ट पहुंच जाएगा. और ये कलर सही है. ये आपने हैंड पेंटेड लिखा हुआ था बट ये प्रिंटेड है.
Yeah. After sales service.
Yeah.
Wow. Or but you guys are doing all right. You guys are doing well.
Yeah. Super,
in that regard,
super happy with what we're doing.
Amazing.
But of course, there's always room for improvement. There's always room for betterment. So we are constantly at it.
What sacrifices have you made to be this sort of person? Even, I mean, did you change your persona in any way, or were you like this and now you've just groomed it and refined it? Like,
luckily God has been so kind, and I find myself to be very lucky that I didn't have to make any compromise. All my compromises were my strength. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the flaws. I loved the flaws, and you know, most of my mistakes were the best things ever happened to me.
Wow.
Because then they shaped me differently. Whatever I am today, whatever decisions I can take today, whatever exposure I have, it because I took those decisions and made those mistakes and learned from them, and then made few more mistakes. So मुझे तो compromise बिल्कुल भी नहीं करना पड़ा. Of course, अगर if I go really back in time, as a child, bullying was a problem.
Right.
And people saying things to you and giving you suggestions, putting you down, or people जो लोग मुझे डिफाइन करना चाहते थे और जो लोग अपनी इनसिक्योरिटीज की वजह से they were putting me down. Yeah, those were the problems, but problem उतना ही बड़ा होता है जितना सा आप उसको बड़ा बनाना चाहते हैं. तो वो सेक्रीफाइस की हद तक तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं आया. बट वो इरिटेशन की हद तक रहा. और वो मैंने उसको इरिटेशन ही रहने दिया. वो मैं आज भी कभी सोच के इरिटेट होता हूँ थोड़ा सा कि उसने ये क्यों कहा था, या उसने मुझे बुली क्यों किया था, या उसने उस वक्त नहीं कहना चाहिए था, और मैं कितना हर्ट हुआ था. सो आई एम अवेयर ऑफ दैट. बट उससे ज्यादा नहीं. बिकॉज when you are pushing the boundary, when you are breaking the norms, please be ready for it too. You can't be like अच्छा हाँ मैं तो तमाशे करूंगा और मैं ये करूंगा but सब मुझे वाह वाह भी करें, तो वो नहीं होगा. So then you need to work on your expectations. So yeah, I didn't have any expectations of anybody. I just needed to know that my family, my loved ones, people who matter, what they think of me. In all of this, had I become a bad person? No. Had I become vicious? No. Did I like मैंने कभी, मैं झूठ नहीं बोलता हूँ, ठीक है, to myself and mostly with others. And then you know, I don't owe anything to anyone.
Right.
I am always there to help my friends. I remember कि मेरा भी शो होता था और फहद का भी शो होता था.
Right.
तो अपने शो की तैयारी करके I'll go to his place or vice versa, or he'll come to my place and help me, or I'll help him. So in all of this, I did not become vicious and conniving person. I did not become a negative person, और वो compromise होता. अगर मैंने अपनी जात पे या अपनी सोल पे compromise किया हुआ होता तो compromise होता. थोड़ा बहुत compromise तो ठीक है, अच्छा ठीक है, ये नहीं हुआ तो ये कर लेते, ये नहीं हुआ, that's fine. But luckily मुझे नहीं करना पड़ा. And there were many times, there were many people, they were asking for it. They wanted you to behave certain way, because that's the only language they understood. I may have settled for those options here and there, ठीक है, but mostly I told myself कि ये सही नहीं है. सही सही होता है और गलत गलत होता है. आप जितनी भी justification दे लें, तो हाँ मुझे ज्यादा नहीं करना पड़ा. और yeah.
I love it. जब when you're done with your thought, you're like, yeah. खत्म हो गई बात. अब बताएं मुझे, who is your tight circle, your core, that you go for advice or even perhaps criticism, critique, जिनका opinion matter करता है आपको, and you regard, and how many should, यानी आपके कितने लोग हैं जिनसे आप शेयर करते हैं?
Depend what kind of, like which department I need advice in.
सही है.
So that really matters.
ठीक है.
If it's a creative advice or a fashion oriented decision, Hasnain Lahiri, Hasnain is a friend. I'll just call her like, what do you think? कि ये कैसा लगेगा?
सही है.
So and then you're like, no, you're not doing it. You can't do it. And sometime I know he's gonna say this,
Yet.
So I yet ask him, and I'll like, listen to me first. I have a whole plan. Like, you know, if I'm like going with a very quirky idea from a campaign or something like that, I think, what do you think? But मैंने ऐसे सोचा है. So if it's a creative advice, of course, then Hasnain है, Fahad है, Adnan Qazi, he's a very close friend. But I'll do what I want.
हाँ, सुननी सबकी.
हाँ. तो वो, and then if it's like a business decision, if something requires big finance or capital, so I just, you know, very politely slide it in a conversation with Myra कि हमें तब budget चाहिए होगा.
Right, the finance minister.
Yeah, the finance minister. And I, you know, मैंने पहले बता दिया मुझे चाहिए होगा. And then she's like, अच्छा हम 3 महीने में नहीं 6 महीने में कर सकते हैं. So depends, and also if it's like, if I need answer for something ambiguous तो नहीं कहना चाहिए, but something vague, or something personal, spiritual, and then my mom के आपको क्या feeling आ रही है, like if I have to take a decision, and also मैं इस्तिखारा करने की भी कोशिश करता हूँ. इस्तिखारे का मतलब होता है that you are taking suggestion from God.
Right.
ठीक है, तो I try to go in that zone and listen to the voice that does not use words. So
वो बस दिल में आ जाता है,
वो दिल में आ जाता है, वो feeling आ जाती है.
Yeah.
और अगर नहीं होगा तो वो आपको पता चल जाएगा. You start feeling that way.
Yeah.
But for that you need to kind of
have a connection
and not have a baggage. And आप एक कमरे में अगर चाहते हैं कि रोशनी आए, तो आप पहले उसको खाली करें ना. उसको क्लटर पहले होगा तो रोशनी कहाँ से आएगी? So you declutter your head space, go in a state of nirvana, and then let the light flow, and then listen to the voice. That is what I do. उसके अलावा, yeah, and also कभी कभी ये होता है कि like जैसे if I'm doing something in the house, or I'm doing something in the studio, or I'm putting like a shade together, whoever is standing is, आपको कैसा लग रहा है? तो you know, मशवरा तो किससे भी कर सकते हैं आप, तो किसी भी. And sometimes you have no idea. Sometimes some people who you don't expect that kind of wisdom from,
right,
they would in that time, in that moment, they will just give you a clue or an idea or a suggestion, and that works wonder for you. For that you just need to have open heart and mind and soul.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for your wonderful open heart, mind and soul, giving me time, talking to me.
Pleasure.
मैंने तो बड़े अरसे से आपसे बात नहीं की हुई.
हाँ, I know. हमने पहले भी कितनी दफा प्लान किया.
हाँ. और ये तो मेरा आपके साथ प्राइवेट टाइम था. I feel lucky.
No, we should.
मराम भी नहीं है, फहद भी नहीं है. हमने कितनी इंटेंस बातें की हैं.
But it was really nice. While I was dressing up, I was like, मैं क्या बातें करूँगा? I was like, मैंने आबरू का देखा. I have seen your show before. It's really cool.
Thank you.
It's super chilled out.
Yeah.
And you're a very good driver.
That I am. Sir, मुझे आपने 5 stars जरूर देने हैं.
हाँ, बाकी पैसे मेरे वॉलेट में डाल दे.
हाँ, ठीक है. Thank you.
Lovely seeing you. It was fantastic.
Amazing, yaar. I'm so glad we did this.
I want to see the edit version of this.
हाँ, मुझे बता देना अगर कोई ऐसी बात आपको लग रही है निकालने वाली.
अब तो कह दिया.
चलें
But
सर.
lovely seeing you. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much.